Hey everybody, welcome back. So I'm in my car again, like the good old days. Just for today though. Anyway, first, it is just a beautiful day out. I was super thankful to do my first hike of the season in such a beautiful day. But anyway, on my way to the trailhead, I was praying to the Lord, talking to Him about a couple things, about a dream I had last night, and something that He reminded me of. And He said, "You know what? Why don't you put that in a video, because there's somebody that needs to hear that also." Okay, and so 5 years ago, I had a eye-opening reality check in the supernatural. I thought I was a good person, a good Christian, and I got a really straight-on look in the mirror of some of the darkness and gross stuff that is inside of me, even on my good days, right? And that's normal and that happens, but this was a really big deal. This shook me in a way that nothing else in my life has ever shaken me, and I've been through some hard, difficult things. And so I had done something that was very not Christian-like. And when I did this thing, I did not realize that I had done it. And that's how much of a pattern this was in my life and in my being. And so I'm not going to talk about what it was, but you can probably write a list of these horrible things that you can think of, and it's not any of those. But in fact, if I told you, you're like, why did that make you fall apart so much? But it just did. It was timely. It was what God needed. It was something the enemy had set me up for to break me, but God used it to break me open, to take me further spiritually, because I had to shed some old skin first. Okay. But anyway, I did something that was very not Christian-like. And when the Lord brought it to my attention, and it was several months after I had done it, and again, like I said, at first I didn't even think that I had done it, and then I realized the moment and that time that thought was in my heart. Anyway, I fell apart, absolutely fell apart in a way I've never fell apart in my life. There was a mixture of other things going on during that time too, and so that's probably why. But I mean, grieved, and I mean, like, sick to my stomach at the thought of what I had done. Tears always coming. I mean, we'd be at the mall, and I would just break out into tears thinking about the situation, thinking about what I had done, yada yada. But my point is, I would go into at this time, I was in a very, very broken place. Like I said, there was other things going on, and I had at least 3 prayer times a day, because it was all I could do, was go and empty myself. And I would go in there and beg for God's forgiveness over and over. And it wasn't that, I don't think it necessarily was that I thought He didn't hear me or any of those things, but just that I felt awful. I felt sick to my stomach to think about the person that I was when I thought I was a good person, I felt so disturbed that it was all I could do was to say, sorry, please forgive me. And so this went on for a couple months, and I would sob and cry and fall apart, and it just haunted me every day of my life for, I'm going to say, I don't know, several months. I really don't know. It seemed like an eternity to me. Really took over my days. It was all I could do to get through the day. Couldn't wait to go to sleep at night just to forget about what I've done. And it bothered me so very much. Okay, I know I've said that a million times, but I don't think that I could even illustrate to the point of how much it affected my life and my health and my days and all those things. Okay, so all that to tell you this. One time I went to my prayer time, and I was crying and I was bawling, and I was saying, Lord, please, please forgive me. Please, I'm so terribly sorry for this. This is so horrible, so awful. I took a nap shortly after that, and I fell asleep, and I heard an angel say to me, He already has forgiven you. And so I woke up and I knew that that was an angel, you know, talking about how the Lord had forgiven me. And so that was really healing to me. That was really helpful. It was like a realization of, oh, he has forgiven me. Okay. Okay. Well, I still carried a lot of shame, right? In fact, I have this saying that, you know, shame is when you break your own heart. Trust me, if you've been there, it is possible. You can disappoint yourself on a level that you can't even imagine, right? We think people break our hearts all the time and they disappoint us, right? We can do that to ourselves because I was there. And so a lot of times when this happens, when we break our own heart and we're ashamed of what we've done, God has already forgiven us, okay? He forgave us before we even had the realization of what we've done and asked for forgiveness. He knew that we would be ashamed and we would ask forgiveness long before we did it, and he already forgave us and has a plan and a purpose past this moment, okay? And that's what I'm trying to get to is, so I still kind of walked around in shame. And yes, I was thankful that the Lord forgave me, but I hated myself. I was like, that is so sick and so disgusting. And why would a person do something like that? And trust me, I've done some bad things. But this really just broke me in a way that I can't even describe or explain. But it was good. It was worth what God has had for me. It needed to take place, but I remember clear as day walking around my house, moping, still just ashamed as could be, and I heard a voice say to me, when are you going to understand that you were handpicked for this? Okay? And that goes to say that yes, I made a mistake, but God, like that mistake and every other mistake, he uses it for his glory, okay? And so, like he told me, he has already forgiven you. You have to forgive yourself and move forward. Okay, that's what I needed to do. I had to forgive myself and realize that he has handpicked me for something. He has handpicked me to fall, yes, but to rise back up, because in the rising back up, that is where his glory is shown, right? The Bible says the righteous man will fall 7 times, but they get back up, okay? And so please, God has already forgiven you. You need to forgive yourself and rise up and do the mission that's in front of you. Find out what it is that he wants to use this mistake for his glory, okay? How he plans to do that, and let him do it. It's time to move forward, okay? So that's what he wants to say. I've already forgiven you, but you need to forgive yourself and move forward, okay? So I hope that blesses you. Have a wonderful day.